हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। नमस्ते।
Start now. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपाशरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining.
हरे कृष्णा
Today we
प्रभु जी,
will
धन्यवाद प्रणाम, जय श्री प्रभु।
keep Motherly Dhanva. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Dhanva.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
हरे
Shri
कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण
Dhanva
प्रभु जी,
Pranam.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Dhanva Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. So today we will discuss 8th chapter from the first canto. It's a very nice chapters, very beautiful prayers by Queen Kunti in this chapter. This chapter is divided into 3 sections. The first section is the reaction of Pandavas and Draupadi with Kunti after they punish Ashwatthama. Last week we saw how um, he was killed and he was not killed. He was killed by taking the jewels off and by shaving him off, and he was not killed because he was kept alive. And we saw that how he is still suffering. So then the second section is Krishna is about to leave. The second section is that Krishna is about to leave. And Kunti Maharani, at that point of time, while Krishna is sitting on the chariot, she offered beautiful prayers. We will discuss all those prayers today. And the third section is then Maharaj Yudhishthira requested, as he was now, after the prayers were offered, Krishna was about to leave, then Maharaj Yudhishthira stops him out of love. And he requests Krishna to stay for some more time, and then he says few more things that we will see. So these are the 3 sections of this chapter. So after the Pandavas and Draupadi, they after losing Draupadi's 5 sons, they all went to the Ganges. They performed the last rites. They bathed in the Ganga, and they were very morose. Then Lord Krishna and the sages, they tried to pacify them by saying that the laws of time are very stringent. When time comes, time comes. It was meant to happen. And the stringent laws of time, by no means can they be counteracted. We see this also in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, well, you are not these. Krishna says, when all these kings, they were always there in the past, they will always be present in the future. They cannot be killed. It's just the body changes, the soul is eternal. Then Arjuna, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains there, Arjuna certainly in his mind, he was the soul is eternal, but still when they leave the body, we lose the association. We lose the loving relationship. Then Krishna says, yes, Tam Siddhishva Bharata. He says, yes, Matra Sparshashtu Pantaya, Shitoshna Shukha Dukkada. Agama Paino Nityas Tantritikshva Bharata. Krishna says, yes, but just like as long as we're in this material world, just like winter and summer seasons comes and goes, likewise, happiness and distress will come and go in this world because the nature of the world is temporary. And one simply must learn to tolerate them. Tam Satikshava, become tolerant. So then Draupadi washed her hairs, they all took bath in the Ganga, and they performed finally the last rites. Then now the scene changes. Now the next scene is it is said that Duryodhan, at this point of time, Duryodhan and everybody died. And the reason of their death, Bhagavatam mentions, is because Duryodhana mishandled the hair of Draupadi. He actually caught hold of Draupadi by the hairs, and even Dusasana and Draupadi, and he he dragged her. So because of mishandling, Bhagavatam says the duration of his life diminished at that point of time. So basically, he was meant to live longer. That's why our not everything that is written at the time of birth in our hand may happen, because we constantly do good or bad karma, and that also affects as we go along. So after the killing of all the Kauravas, then Yudhishthira Maharaj was made the king, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling that he is the cause of killing, and he has accumulated so many sins because of so many people were killed. So he was advised to perform Ashwamedh Yagya, which is the horse sacrifice, for the protection of citizens and to rid himself from um, the sins accumulated from killing. So he performed 3 Ashwamedha Yagyas, and it is said he became famous. Ashwamedha Yagya is very difficult yagya to perform. Mm. Those who don't know how the yagya is performed, there is a horse. I think we discussed earlier. That horse is tied with the name, and he goes kingdom to kingdom. If any kingdom does not accept Maharaj Yudhishthira as the king, they will capture the horse, and Arjuna and the team will fight. And then they would retract the horse, then the horse is again set loose to go to other kingdoms. So likewise 3 times, and everybody came to know that Maharaj Yudhishthira is the king. So Bhagavatam says the fame of Maharaj Yudhishthira spread like Indra. Now, obviously in heavenly planets, everybody knows Indra. Not only in heaven, in all the planetary system, everybody knows Indra. We know Indra. In Indralok, which is heavenly planet, everybody knows Indra. In higher planets, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, people know Indra. In lower planets, up to Patal Lok, also people know Indra. Nobody knows Joe Biden or Narendra Modi in higher planets or lower planets. But Indra, everybody knows. And Maharaj Yudhishthira fame spread like Indra, means the whole 3 worlds came to know about Maharaj Yudhishthira. That much powerful was Maharaj Yudhishthira kingdom, and Krishna was happy that, okay, now Dharma is established, Bhagavad Gita is spoken, Yudhishthira Maharaj is the king, the illiest people, like including Jarasandha and Duryodhana and Kauravas, everybody is died. So Krishna sat on the chariot, and Krishna was about to take off to Dwarka. And as he was about, there is a whole scene, there is beautiful picture also in his ISKCON paintings where he's sitting on chariot. Daruka, his charioteer driver, was there. He's seeing off all the Maharaj Yudhishthira. Kunti is there. People are seeing from, we will see that in the next chapter, next to next chapter. People are seeing from the roof. Everyone is trying to see off Krishna. And when Krishna was about to set off, then immediately Uttara came running. And she was in great anxiety. She told Pahi Pahi Mahabhav, oh, the most powerful one, the protector of your devotees, please protect my son in the womb from an iron weapon, which is rushing to me at a great speed. And then when Krishna saw Uttara, then Krishna saw that there were many Brahmastra. Bhagavatam Purport Prabhupada says many Brahmastra. So Ashwadhama, because he was very cruel by nature, after he got the punishment and after he was left, actually he was supposed to be killed. But Ashwadhama was forgiven because the loving compassion of Draupadi, Yudhishthir, Kunti, Arjuna, they all were on the same side except Krishna and Bhima. Krishna knew if you leave a person the wrong character, then what is going to happen? So Ashwadhama, his jewel was taken, but still he was forgiven. but he had no gratitude for his life was saved, even though he killed in an irreligious manner the 5 sons. Just because of the compassion, he was forgiven, but he has no great gratitude. He again released many Brahmastras. It is said that these Brahmastras were uncounterable. Like the Brahmastra, there are two kinds of Brahmastra. The Brahmastra that was released for Arjuna can be counteracted, and Arjuna released his Brahmastra and counteract that. But the Brahmastra released by Ashwadhama is like this one was cannot be counteracted. Hmm. And when Krishna looked, there were this iron Brahmastra, which was rushing at full speed. As soon as the Pandavas saw that, the Pandavas immediately took their weapons out. But Krishna knew that this um, um, these weapons of Pandavas won't help. So Krishna immediately took Sudarshan Chakra and he counteracted all the Brahmastras that were coming with the Sudarshan Chakra. I mean, Krishna can do anything, but others cannot do what Ashwatthama released. And how he counteracted the Brahmastra that was within the womb. So Brahmastra also mentioned that they are very subtle weapons. They can do the whole mass destruction of the universe, so they can enter into the womb and kill the child without harming the mother. This Brahmastra very focused, so they will, for whom they are released, they are so focused they can destroy only that part also. So as the Brahmastra was entering, it entered the womb of Uttara. Nothing happened to Uttara, and it started heating the womb of Uttara. And immediately the Lord, who is already present, the super soul, he made a kavach around the child. And the Brahmastra hit him and then got dissolved. And then Parikshit, although he was a small child, he saw the form of the Lord because the Lord manifested his form there, Narayan form. And that's where the word Parikshit means Pariksha. Pariksha means he is always seeking. Um, Parikshit means one who is always looking for the personality whom he saw in the womb, which is Parikshit, which is Krishna, which is Narayan form. So in this way, first Lord Krishna through his Sudarshan Chakra countered or neutralized the uncounteractable Brahmastra that were released by Ashwadhama to kill Pandavas and the children. And then Sutta Goswami says that do not think that it is specially wonderful because the Lord, through his Maya Shakti, creates the whole universes, destroys the whole universes, maintains and protects the whole universes. So he is a supreme Lord and he can do anything. So it's not, don't think it's very specially wonderful that he counteracted those Brahmastras. And then as Krishna was, as he this counteracted Sudarshan Chakra and saved the life of Maharaj Parikshit. And then just as he was about to leave, then Queen Kunti started offering various prayers. And these prayers are very nice. So see if you can attentively hear these prayers. So first Kunti Maharani says, I have my notes with me, which is a summary of all the prayers that she offers. So first Kunti Devi says, O Supreme Person, O the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she is telling to Krishna. You are the Supreme Controller. You are the in charge of the material energy. Maya Shakti is yours. You are inside all the living entities and you are outside all living entities. Yet nobody can understand you because you are covered by the curtain of Maya. And you are just like an actor, that you are acting in this world as our brothers or my brother's son, because Kunti brother was Vasudeva. You are acting like my brother's son, like my nephew, or cousin brother for my brother, for my sons. and you are acting as one among us. Even the great Paramhamsas, they cannot understand who you are. Then how can I, who is an insignificant woman, a simple woman, how can I know you perfectly? So this initial prayer of Kunti also shows that what does Kunti think about Krishna? Krishna is her nephew, but what is Kunti Devi's opinion about Krishna? And she says, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. You are the controller of Maya Shakti. You are inside of all living entities as Paramatma, and you are outside. So this shows that she actually understands Krishna. And to such an extent that she says very, I mean, through prayers, so it is said that when they speak, you can understand what's inside them. And also we will see in the next chapter when Drishyamara will go to Bhishma Dev also knows Krishna perfectly well. So Bhishma Dev and Kunti, based on Shrimad Bhagavatam, they are pure devotees of the Lord. From their prayers, it is clear from their words that she is telling herself, how we simple woman, how can we know you perfectly? Krishna is thinking, aha, so you understand me perfectly well. And then you says in your humility, um, how can we simple woman know you? And then she offers this prayer that is sung many times in the beginning of Bhagavatam. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Char Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo. Krishnaya Vasudevaya means you are son of Vasudev. Devaki Nandanaya Cha, you are son of Devaki. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, you are also the son of Nanda Maharaj. Govindaya Namo Namaha, and you are the one who give pleasure to cows. This is one of the prayers she offers, glorifying Krishna. And then she says Krishna, how Krishna's bodily features is extremely beautiful. She says, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, which Namo Pankaja Nabhaya. Nabha means navel. Your navel is like a lotus. Um, then Namo Namo Pankaja. Maline Pankaja means lotus. Maline is garland. Your garland is like lotus like. Namo Pankaja Netraya. Your eyes are like lotus. Your feet are like lotuses. So in this way, she glorifies Krishna's beauty, that everything of your feature is like lotuses. Then Kunti Devi says that you saved Devaki from imprisonment by Kamsa one time, but you saved us, me and my children, so many times. She says Bhima was offered a poison cake by Duryodhan, you saved him. Then we were caught up in fire in the house of lac. Then you saved us. You saved us from the cannibals like Hidimba. Bhima killed him. That was by your mercy we were saved. Gambling match. You help us go through that, give us the strength to go through that, and save Draupadi in that situation. We would have suffered in exile for 14 years, but you gave us shelter there. When during the Mahabharat war, there were great fighters like Bhishma, Drona, and they had their Karna with all their weapons, Jayadratha, and then you saved us from all those weapons. And now Ashwadhama, he released to kill the Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj, and you saved us now. There is a couple of things here. One thing is poison cake, great fire, gambling. I mean, gambling, my Krishna was personally there, but in exile or various other places, it was not Krishna directly, but Kunti Devi is saying everything that whatever we were able to do is by your mercy, which is actually true. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the um, strength of the man, intelligence of the intelligent. So everything that one has is ultimately given by Krishna. And Arjuna also, when after disappearance of Krishna, Arjuna went to Dwarka. on the request of Maharaj Yudhishthira. When Arjuna went there, he did not come back for 9 months. When he came back, he was very disturbed. Yudhishthira Maharaj asked, "What is the cause of your disturbance?" And Arjuna says, "Our dear friend Krishna is no more on this planet." And then Arjuna says that now I can understand that whatever power I had was actually given by Krishna. Some Gwalas attacked and I could not counteract. I am the same wielder of the Gandiva bow. I am the same Arjuna, the best warrior. But I am feeling very helpless in front of anybody. Even the simple cowherd boys could defeat me. Now I can understand it was all Krishna's mercy. So Kunti Devi, she is not telling my son Arjuna is a great um, wielder of Gandiva bow. My son Bhima is very powerful. The luck or fate was on our side that Bhima was saved and he killed Hidimba. And all my children are so powerful that they were able to counteract the weapons of Bhishma and Drona, which they did counteract, but it was by the mercy of Krishna. Then this also shows that because Kunti is fully Krishna conscious, Kunti Devi in all her dangers was constantly praying to Krishna. And because she was constantly praying to Krishna, when we pray, things get resolved. A devotee can see the hand of Krishna and anything good that happens. So when we come out of a difficult situation, devotee can see everything as Krishna's mercy. There can be a direct cause, there can be indirect cause. Direct cause of everything is indirect. Indirect cause is Krishna's mercy. Direct cause can be somebody may help us. Many things may happen in this world, but a devotee also always sees that it's actually Krishna's mercy. Somebody is criticizing, it is also Krishna's mercy. Somebody offering protection, also Krishna's mercy. Somebody giving me some guidance, also Krishna's mercy. So a devotee can see Krishna's mercy everywhere. So Kunti Maharani, everything that was happening, she was seeing the hand of Krishna. And then Kunti Maharani is saying that you saved us from all these things. So first she is feeling herself very, very fortunate. She feels, Devaki, you saved her once from the imprisonment. But us, you are constantly being with us and you are saving us more and more and more. And Kunti has a very good relationship, or Kunti has a very equal relationship with Devaki, because Nanad, जो भी हम बोलते हैं, like Kunti's real brother's wife is Devaki. And the favor you did not show to your own mother, you showed it to us. In this way, she is offering very heartfelt prayers. And then there is this word famous verse where Kunti Maharani says, let calamities come upon us again and again, because during the calamities, when calamities are there, you are there with us. But now we are the kings. All the bad elements are killed, like Jarasandha and Duryodhana. No more dangers, apparently. And now you are leaving us. So better we are in exile, better we are poisoned, better we are burned by House of Black. Better we are in those situations, so that then at least we'll get a chance to see you again and again. This is mood of Kunti Maharani, that without Krishna, life is like null and void. So if you go, it's like life going. What is the purpose of living? What is the purpose of kingdom? What is the purpose of anything if you go away to Dwarka? So then she shares a great point. She says the security of material world is actually a danger. If somebody thinks that, the nature of this world is we take shelter of this world. Either if we are very qualified, we feel confident, or very intelligent, we feel confident in this world. Or if something that gives us some kind of confidence in us, or we feel like I have an edge over others in this world. And so that becomes like a false security. So Kunti Devi says, Janmaishwarya Shruti Shibi Edamana Madapupan. Naivarhati Avidatum Vai Tom Akinchana Gocharam. So she says some people, if their birth is very good, they feel secure. If they're Aishwarya, they are very rich, opulent, then they feel like, we are well to do, we are good in this world. Shruti, those who have knowledge, they feel we are well settled and we have our own role and position. Shri, those who are very beautiful, they feel, we are very much wanted in this world. So these are all like false securities of this material world. They're actually a danger. The reason they are danger because there's a natural tendency when person develop all these things, he becomes mad with those qualities. Beauty makes us mad, knowledge makes us mad, opulence makes us mad. Like Jesus Christ says, it's easy to send an elephant back to kingdom of God. It is easy to pass an elephant through the eye of a needle than to send a rich man to the kingdom of God. Means rich man, usually somebody very opulent, very well-to-do, they will have a lot of pride. Generally speaking, then they will like him. No, I'm good. I don't need God. So these are like security of this material, which is just good karma, but actually it turns out to be acting as a bad karma because makes us makes us proud and full of ourselves. And Tom Akinchana Gochara means those who are full of themselves cannot take shelter of you, Krishna. But those who are impoverished, Akinchana, Tom Akinchana Gocharam, you are the shelter or of the impoverished, those who feel like we are helpless. Then they feelingly take shelter of Krishna. But those who are too secure in this material world, with whatever little good karmas they have, then they don't feelingly take shelter of you. So I don't want those things, but rather I want calamities. You have saved us forever among all the calamities. And this prayer was triggered because just now Krishna saved Kunti's son and Kunti's grandson, great grandson, Maharaj. But just now Krishna saved again. So let these problems keep coming. We are okay with that, but you be there. And also Kunti's faith that if we take shelter of Krishna, things will go right. So it doesn't matter because doesn't matter what the circumstances is as long as we have Krishna's shelter. This is the confidence that she has in Krishna. We see that even in Rajavasis, they have full confidence in Krishna. The cowherd boys were entering into the mouth of Aghasur, and Krishna wanted them not to enter. Krishna wanted to stop them, but they had no fear because they thought, even if it's a demon, first they thought it's a playground. Then they thought, no, he looks like a demon. He looks like a ajgar, like a big snake. Then they thought, even if he's an ajgar, we have nothing to fear because Krishna is there. Krishna will come and save us. Because they were always dependent on Krishna. I mean, think about it. We can become scared even by a lizard or cockroach, or I don't know, or maybe a big spider, or maybe a scorpion, or like a snake. We can get scared by anything small. Fear is like very easy for us. But for Kunti, for Rajavasis, they're not scared of a 12-mile long demon or 10-mile long demon, or like they're like world famous demons. They're not scared. So Govinda Ghosh explains that those who take shelter of Krishna, they are not fearful. Why? Well, Krishna, what do we do? Indra, huge rain. And Krishna, Krishna, what do we do? And Kunti says that problems are okay, but we cannot bear separating from you. You give us problem, but you somehow remain here. So she says, I pray that calamities come upon me again and again. So we don't lose your association. And then she says, Krishna, you are acting like a human. Your pastimes are like a human. And this is very misleading. Mhm. People start considering you as a human by seeing you performing activities. You are a king of Dwarka. You come on chariot, go on chariot, you eat food with us. Everything you do is, although all your pastimes are transcendental, they are misleading. Um, and then she says that you are not partial, you are impartial. You don't have any object of favor and you don't have any object of envy. Only it is misleading that you seem to favor us and you seem to kill the Yodhan and Kaurava. So it seems like you are fighting on our side. It seems like you are protecting us. Seems like you are against Ashwadhama and you are favoring us. And this is all very misleading because actually you are impartial. So the example given is the sun. The sun is impartial. The sun is harmful to thieves and owls. Those who are thief, they don't like sun. Owls don't like sun because they're nocturnal animals. Chakravaka birds, they love sun. So when sun comes, they become very joyful. Then they start flapping and they start going here and there. Those who are blind, it doesn't matter to them whether sun is there or not. So it seems like to some sun is favorable, to some sun is unfavorable, to some sun is indifferent, but sun is impartial. Sun just comes, and different people um, behaves or treats differently. Likewise, you appear to be partial, but you are not partial. Now then somebody may say, but isn't Krishna killed Duryodhan? Yes, Krishna killed Duryodhan. So isn't he partial? He is not partial. Why? Because Krishna is, one of the duty of Krishna is to set adharma. But after killing Duryodhan, Krishna sent him to the same destination that he gave to Arjuna. They all went to spiritual kingdom. Everybody fought. Even the demigods killed by Krishna also gets liberated at least, or goes to abode of Krishna. Krishna is envious, and if he favors some and doesn't favor some, then some will go to back to God and some will go to hell. But everybody is getting the same destination. But common people cannot see because they're only seeing that act based on how Krishna is acting, the external situation. So Kunti Devi can see beyond that also. And she sees that you are impartial, although you appear to be partial. And this is very, very misleading. But Krishna is doing whatever it takes to establish dharma on this planet. But he will still deliver you also, because Krishna is all good. And Krishna also says, also another way to understand impartiality of Krishna is, Krishna says, as you approach, I reciprocate accordingly. Those who approach Krishna for protection, they get protection. Um, mm, I mean, those who want help from Krishna, Krishna give them help. Those who don't want anything from Krishna, Krishna let karma act on them. Just like the example given is, a mother has two children. One child is good at studies and can take care of the studies by himself. Another child is weak and says, Mom, can you help me with my studies? And mom says, yes, I will help you. So it seems like the mother is helping one child and neglecting another child. But the mom is impartial. Mom is helping whoever approaches her. Those who doesn't approach her, if the other person approach her, he will, like another story is the Shara we discussed about Lord Ramchandra. And Lord Ramchandra was impartial. Vibhishan took shelter. Sugriva said, he is the associate of Ravana. He is by blood, he is demoniac. He will turn sides at any point of time and support back Ravana. If you ask me, Ram, kill him immediately. And then Ram asked Hanuman, what do you think? Hanuman says, I think he is sincere. He sincerely wants to take shelter. I think he is your devotee. So Lord Ram said, yes, today I declare that anybody who takes shelter, I will give them protection. And I will maintain them forever for the rest of eternity. Then they asked, what if Ravana takes shelter? They said, yes, if Ravana takes shelter, I will make him the king of the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Vibhishan, I will make him the king of Ayodhya. So Ram also showed that he is impartial. Whoever takes shelter, he gives them shelter. Those who don't take shelter, just karma acts. So she says, but although, so this shows that Kunti Maharani is seeing Krishna beyond the externals. She sees Krishna as a controller of Maya, as inside, as Paramatma, as outside, as a supreme personality of Godhead, as one who controls everything, as one who is a protector, as one who is saving them from all the calamities, as one who is impartial. So she is seeing Krishna the way nobody can see actually. That's why these plays are very, very beautiful. Then she says various reasons. She proves her point that why your pastimes are very misleading. She says you are unborn, but you take birth. So she says that also, that took birth from Vasudeva and Devaki, but you are Aja, you are unborn. Why? You are the supreme personality of Godhead. You have nothing to do in this world. In a way, you are always performing your past in the spiritual world, but you are performing so many activities in this world, as in so many relations and fighting and this and this, and very inconceivable. What all, how many activities you are doing. Fear personified is afraid of you, but you are afraid of Mother Yashoda's stick. How do we understand? So she says your pastimes are they are transcendental, but they are very misleading and very difficult to understand. It seems to be contradictory. You are unborn, but you take birth. You have nothing to do, but you are doing so many activities in this world. Yamaraj, fear personified, is afraid of you. It is also said in the scriptures, wind blows out of fear of Krishna. And then you are afraid of simple stick of Mother Yashoda. So these are like human-like pastimes. You're acting like a human, she says. No, people cannot understand you, and therefore they are misled. Then she says, people say, then if you're unborn, then why did you appear? Why did you come here? So she says, well, um, um, some people say that you appeared because Brahma prayed for you, for your appearance. Some say you came to this world to kill asuras. Some says you came to this world to establish dharma, to speak Bhagavad Gita for the welfare of the people and for the protection of your devotees. Some says you came to this world because Vasudeva and Devaki prayed, because that is also true. In the past life, Vasudeva and Devaki performed many austerities, and then Narayan blessed them that I will become your son. And then twice Narayan became, and this third time also Krishna's expansion, Narayan became the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Some says, well, you came to this world just to glorify your own devotees and glorify the king like Maharaj Yudhishthir. So there are various people say various things. So you are unborn, but you have appeared. Why you have appeared? There are various people say various things why you appeared, which are all true. But these are not the real reasons. Real reason is not to establish dharma, not to kill the asuras, not for the prayer of Brahma. These are all external causes, not out of prayer of Vasudeva and Devaki. But the real reason you came is to rejuvenate devotional service of hearing, chanting, remembering. And this is also something that Kunti Devi knows. This is so nice that Kunti Devi knows the essence of everything. whatever we hear from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever we hear, why Krishna came, and everything that philosophy we come to know is mentioned in Kunti Devi's prayers. 5,000 years back, she knows everything. So she says the real reason you come, so you can perform your pastimes. So the conditioned souls, when they hear about your name, chant your glories, hear about your glories, your pastimes, hear about your pastimes, chant your pastimes. When they remember you, they will be liberated from the suffering caused by the pangs of this material world. Conditioned souls, by default in this material world, are suffering. Krishna says, why this world is Dukhalyam Ashashvatam. This world is full of misery. Why? Because every material pleasure leads to misery. So a living entity comes in this world, and whatever he does, he gets misery in return. He does get, like Krishna says, mode of passion, happiness, Krishna says, nectar in the beginning, poison at the end. Mode of ignorance, he says, poison in the beginning, poison in the end. Mode of goodness, people don't engage in sensory activities because they see things as they are in goodness. But those who enjoy, they only get dukkha in return, either later on or immediately, based on if the happiness is in ignorance or passion. So people are suffering from the reactions of their own work. Like Yogi Prabhuji says, material world, there's much happiness and there's a lot more suffering. But then the conditioned soul is habituated to trying to enjoy this material world. This is called very strong conditioning. So why you came? You came because you came. People can hear you. People can remember you. People can um, people can hear about your pastimes, remember your pastimes, your qualities, your people can know everything about you. And by hearing, by chanting, by remembering, they will get relief from this Dukalyam Ashashvatam. So this is the real reason you came. And then she says, this is also not the real reason. Then she says, but the real benefit of devotional service, of hearing chanting, is by devotional service one can see a lotus feet. So she says, the many causes, Brahma, Vasudev, Devaki, protection of, the pious, and um, these are all killing asuras. These are all the very external reason. But actually, by your coming, you came to rejuvenate devotional service, because before Krishna before Krishna came, how can you hear, chant, glorify, remember somebody who doesn't come here? How will you know about it? Because Krishna come, now we are discussing about it. So Krishna came to rejuvenate, and by discussing, we will become free from the pangs of material suffering. But the real reason is by devotional service, one is able to see a lotus feet. So external reason, in a way, is freedom from suffering, but the real reason is we will attain Krishna by devotional service. Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam will give us love for Krishna, and that's why you came. And then prayers continues. Then, then Kunti Devi says, so are you planning to leave us today? Then Krishna says, well, I have some work at Dwarka. Then Krishna says, but don't cheat me, Krishna, because you don't need to be there to do any work. All the work that you desire are automatically accomplished. So then again, Kunti says, now, if you're leaving us, then there are so many kings who are enmity with us. Who will protect us now? Because now Yudhishthira became the king. Some of them willingly surrendered. Some of them unwillingly surrendered. Now he is the king. Naturally, kings has many enemies, and he is the king of the whole Earth planet now. So we have created so many enemies, and now if you leave us, then who will protect us? Then Krishna says that, but Bhima is there, Arjuna is there, they're very powerful. King is Dharmaraj, and you are friends with Yadava, so no need to worry. Then Krishna says, well, whatever powers they have is because of you only. The fame and activities of Pandavas, Yadus, without you are like senses without the soul. Without you, they are powerless. Only if you are there, they will be able to do whatever they can. So Kunti Devi does not think that her sons are very powerful, but she thinks, if Krishna is there, my sons can do whatever. If Krishna leaves to Dwarka, my sons will be helpless. Kunti Devi says, it's like senses without the soul. If the soul leaves the body, what can the sense do? Can you see anything? Can you smell anything once the soul leaves? Can you taste anything once the soul leaves? So the senses are very powerful. The eyes are very powerful. The nose, the ears, the tongue, and the sense of touch. All these senses are very powerful, but they are powerful only because the soul is there. And because you, Krishna, you are there, all these Pandavas and Yadus, they have the power, just like the senses have powers. You leave, they are all like without the soul or powerless, cannot. A dead man's senses cannot do anything. Likewise, they will not be able to do anything once you leave. So this is Kunti Devi's realization of Krishna. And then she says, after you leave Krishna, our kingdom that is marked with the signs of your feet will no longer glow, because all the prosperity of this land is by your glance alone. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj fame is spread like Indra, very, very opulent kingdom Yudhishthira Maharaj has. And she says, um, whatever prosperity or anything that is there is because your glance. Wherever you goes, your wife is goddess of fortune, and everything is there because of your presence. And she also says the decoration of our kingdom is your footsteps, because Krishna has these signs in his feet of various symbols, and when Krishna walks, the ground has all those signs. And she said, this is the ornament of Mother Earth and ornament of her kingdom. And whatever opulence is there is because of your glance. And whatever the power the Yadus and Pandavas have is because you are the soul and they are like the senses. So Krishna says, they are all there, they will protect. Then she differs by giving all these reasons. And then she is thinking that this is my favorite prayers, the last two prayers. She says, if you are here, my parental family, the Vishnus, will suffer, because her parental family lives in like Vasudev is her real brother. So her parental family are in the Dwarka. That is all her parental side, her parents' side. And then Pandavas is from her husband's side, from her in-laws side. So she's staying with the in-laws. So on one side, she's thinking, if you are here, then my brother, who is your father, and they all will suffer separation from you. And when you go there, then me, Pandavas, we all will suffer. So she's thinking that my mind is getting troubled, whether you are here or you are there. My mind is always in trouble. And this is because I'm attached to them and I'm attached to myself. And that's why I'm getting all these troubles. So then she offers this most beautiful prayer and she says, please sever my ties of family affection with the Pandavas and the Yadavas, O Lord of the universe. She praying to Krishna. Krishna, please cut off my affection to my sons. There are two meanings to it. One internal meaning is, Krishna, please cut off my affection to my sons and let my affection flow only towards you. Let me please cut off my affection to my parents, parental side, my brother, my who is Vasudev. Please cut off my affection there. Please cut off my affection to my direct family, and please let my affection flows only towards you. And she gives an example of Ganga. She says, just like Ganga forever flows towards the ocean. No matter what obstacle comes, Ganga continues to flow in the ocean. Ganga is attracted only to the ocean. Everything else is a detail. She's going through this world. She's meeting various elements in this world, sometimes the mountains, sometimes the valleys. She's meeting everybody in this world, going throughout the earth or India, Bharatvarsh. But she's only focused on the ocean. Likewise, let my affection, although I may be going through various courses in this life, let my affection flow only towards you. That will happen only if I can give up my affection to my sons and my mother's side. So here comes the end of this beautiful prayers by Queen Kunti. Then the response of Krishna looks at Queen Kunti and Krishna smiles. It will be very nice. So that shows how realized Kunti Devi is. Prabhupada also wrote a book, Prayers by Queen Kunti. Then the Lord smiled and Lord did not say anything. Then the Lord just took permission from Kunti, and Kunti Devi folded her hands. And then Krishna is giving farewell to everyone. Then Krishna was about to leave. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj, out of great love, he stopped the Lord. Yudhishthira Maharaj, it is said, so many people were killed in Mahabharata war, millions. Yudhishthira Maharaj was considering himself. Yudhishthira Maharaj says, "Oh Krishna, I am the most sinful. Um, I am meant to I am meant to. This body is meant for service to others. The body of all living entities is meant to service to others. The Dichi Muni says, when Indra comes to the Dichi for giving his life so that he can use a weapon, Vajra weapon with his bones that he can use to fight with Vritrasura. That time, the Dichi says that yes, the body is meant for others, so I will happily give up my life. Yudhishthira says this body which is meant for others is used to kill so many Akshohinis, so many millions. And this is all because of my desire to become the king. And that's why I am the most sinful man. Then it is said that even Vyasadeva and Krishna, they tried to pacify Yudhishthira that it was not. Obviously, the fight was not. Yudhishthira Maharaj had no desire to become the king. Same doubts Arjuna also had. Arjuna said, I will not be happy with this kingdom, even if the kingdom is unrivaled like that of Indra's, if it is tainted with the blood of my own relatives, this kingdom will not give me any happiness. And I will incur so many sinful reactions for so many. So same reasons Yudhishthira Maharaj is giving that Arjuna gave in the beginning. So what about the sins that will incur by killing my own family members? All these reasons Yudhishthira Maharaj gives. Even Arjuna gave the reason the woman will be women will become widows and I will be the cause of unwanted progeny. Yudhishthira Maharaj tells everything. He says, see, all the women, all the pain is because of me. All the sin that I've incurred and my desire only because of desire for kingdom. I'm the cause, basically, he says. And then Krishna, when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he pacified Arjuna and he gave knowledge to Arjuna. But Krishna did not give knowledge to Yudhishthira. And it is said that Adbhut Karmana, Krishna performed Adbhut Karmana, means Krishna spoke something. And then, although he spoke the truth, Krishna did not give the conviction sitting in the heart of Maharaj Yudhishthira, did not give him the conviction to understand. Then Vyasadeva also tried to explain, Yudhishthira Maharaj, you are not the cause, it was supposed to happen. And it is said that even Krishna and Vyasadeva could not pacify him because Krishna wanted Bhishmadev to be glorified. And Bhishmadev to pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj because Bhishmadev really loved the Pandavas. And Bhishmadev would be so happy by seeing Yudhishthira and others in kingly robes. And also, everything is orchestrated. Also, Bhishmadev has a desire that while leaving the body, I want to see Krishna. So, to fulfill all this, to orchestrate all this, Krishna covered Yudhishthira Maharaj with ignorance, and then out of love he stopped Krishna. And then at the last verse of this chapter, Yudhishthira Maharaj says, yes, I have performed Ashwamedha Yajna to purify of my sin, but this Ashwamedha Yajna cannot purify of my sin. Yudhishthira Maharaj gives an example, just like a muddy water, you cannot clean the muddy water by putting mud in it. And then he says, you cannot clean a wine-scented bottle with a wine. Like if a bottle has wine, you cannot clean it and get rid of the wine smell by cleaning it with the wine. And you cannot clean a muddy water with the mud. It's only going to add wine and mud in that. What's the purpose? And then he says, you cannot clean the sinful reactions by killing animals. I cannot get rid of the sin of killing by killing. So all this won't work. So in this way, Maharaj was fully convinced that he's the most sinful person. He is the cause. And he has given so much pain to the mothers and to the wives. And this is where the chapter comes to an end. So we discuss about Uttara, we discuss about saving of Maharaj Parikshit, then we discuss about beautiful prayers by Queen Kunti, we discuss about realization Kunti has about Krishna, then we discuss about Maharaj Yudhishthira, then as he was about to leave, Maharaj Yudhishthira stopped him, and then his reasons why he is the cause. Okay, now we will read in next 5 minutes quickly, we will read one verse. Okay, this is the verse we will read today. त्वयि मे नन्य विषया मतिर्मधुपते सकृत् रतिम् उद्वहतात् अद्धा गंगे वौघम उदन्वति. त्वयि onto me, may my ananya vishaya unalloyed mati attention, madhupate or lord of madhu, are sucked continuously within attraction, udvahatat may overflow, adha directly, Ganga the Ganges, Eva like Ogham flows Udanvati down to the sea. O Lord of Madhu, which is referring to Krishna, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn onto you without being diverted to anyone else. And before this, he says, because she is getting distracted by Pandavas and the Vrishnis, and her affection is flowing there. So she is, in the previous verse, he says, please cut off my affection to everybody else. And now she gives an example, Ganga, just like Ganga to ocean, let my attraction be constantly drawn onto you. Let me always be focused on you without being diverted to anyone else. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Perfection of pure devotional service is attained when all attention is diverted toward the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So what we are doing is Bhakti Yoga. And what is the perfection of Bhakti Yoga? When all our attention, loving attention, is directed only towards the Lord. To cut off the tie of all other affections does not mean complete negation of final elements, like affection for someone else. This is not possible. A living being, whoever he may be, must have this feeling of affection for others because there is a symptom of life. Affection must be there. The symptoms of life, such as desire, anger, hankerings, feeling of attraction, etc., cannot be annihilated. Only the objective has to be changed. So the Mayavadis impersonally say we cannot have all these feelings, but here Prabhupada is mentioning that, and Kunti Maharani is mentioning, she is not saying let my affection be to nothing, let me become like Nirvishesh Shunyavad. She says let all that feeling of attraction is meant for you, hankering is meant for you, desire is meant for you. Anger is also to be used in your service. So Prabhupada, these symptoms of life, they will be there. The objective has to be changed. Right now, the objective has been absorbed. These feelings are absorbed in temporary things, in which is created by illusion. And we are caught up by the three moods. So here Kuntiman is saying, let the objective be changed and let that be you. And it is possible only by your mercy. Desire cannot be negated, but in devotional service, the desire is changed only for the service of the Lord in the place of desire for sense gratification. And why do we want, why? Because we get some sense gratification. That's why we have hankering feeling of attraction, desire connected to this world, because there is something we get in return, some solace, some security, um, some emotions get pacified, but um, in nectar of devotion, this is compared to false shelter. Durashraya. Ashraya is Krishna, Durashraya is affection, this material world. The so-called affection for family, society, country, consists of different phases of service. It is called devotional service. Same affection, if it can flow only towards Krishna, that is bhakti. In the Bhagavad Gita, we can see that Arjuna desired not to fight with his brothers and relations, just to satisfy his own personal desires. But when he heard a message of the Lord, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, he changed his decision and served the Lord. And for his doing so, he became a famous devotee of the Lord. For it is declared in all scriptures that Arjuna attained spiritual perfection by devotional service to the Lord in friendship. Arjuna also was in that affection, and that's why but then he made his affection his goal only to please Krishna, and he was willing to take whatever action it takes just to please the Lord. So then he became famous as the unalloyed devotee. Why? Because now no more personal likes or dislikes, but what Krishna likes him. It was just the transformation happened immediately for him by Krishna's mercy. Hence he became a famous devotee of the Lord. The fighting was there, the friendship was there, Arjuna was there, Krishna was there, but Arjuna became a different person by devotional service. Therefore, the prayers of Kunti also indicate the same categorical changes in activities. So Kunti Maharani's affection is there, desire is there, hankering is there, love is there, needs are there. And it's like an internal transformation. Arjuna can direct all that transformation. Kunti Maharani now wants all these feelings which are natural for a human being towards Krishna. Arjuna could invest everything and do everything for Krishna, and he has obviously affection for Krishna, and for that he could do. He just wanted to please Krishna. Srimati Kunti wanted to serve the Lord without diversion, and that was her prayer. This unalloyed devotion is the ultimate goal of life. Our attention is usually diverted to the service of something which is non-godly. We are affectionate towards something in this world and not in the program of the Lord. And it is not connected to Krishna, but it just we are conditioned to divert our attention towards those things which are temporary by nature. So she's praying, Krishna, please let my affection flow only towards you. This is also very nice because as time passed by, we realized that actually I don't have the power. I don't have the strength. I don't have the determination. I don't have anything that can protect me from this material world. It's only the grace of the Lord. So she is directly approaching the Lord's grace. Krishna, please make this happen. Let my attention flow only towards you. Cut off my affection towards everything else. When a program is changed into the service of the Lord, that is to say, when the senses are purified in relation with the service of the Lord, it is called pure unalloyed devotional service. The senses are very powerful. Krishna says even one of the roaming senses can divert us from bhakti yoga, and the senses by default are contaminated, and that's because they have been engaged in this material world since time immemorial. But here Prabhupada says when the same senses are used in the service of the Lord, they gradually become purified. And when the senses, which includes the mind, when they become purified, then that when with all of one's senses, mind and heart, one directs towards Krishna, then it becomes pure unalloyed devotional service. Srimati Kunti wanted that perfection and prayed for it from the Lord. Her affection for the Pandavas and the Vrishnis is not out of the range of devotional service because the service of the Lord and service of devotees are identical. Sometimes service to the devotee is more valuable than service to the Lord. But here, the affection of Kunti for the Pandavas and Vrishnis was due to family relation. This type of affection in terms of material relation is the relation of Maya, because the relations of the body or the mind are due to the influence of external energy. So Prabhupada says that service to devotees of the Lord and service to Lord are on the same platform. Sometimes service to devotees of the Lord is even higher. Like we serve a spiritual master, we serve devotees. When devotees come, we feed them. Or we may have affection towards some devotees, and that is very liberating. But it should not be on a bodily platform. It is on a spiritual platform. But when it is on a bodily platform, because he is my son, or because he is my in-laws, or my maternal side, or whatever Vishnis, they are my relatives. And if the relationship or is the affection is because of something material, if it is not only keeping Krishna in the center, if there are other factors to it, then now Prabhupada says here, Pandava is also pure devotees of the Lord. Vishnu is also pure devotees of the Lord. Vasudeva Devaki, eternal devotees of the Lord. So Prabhupada says affection for them is not out of the realm of devotional service, but for Kunti it was because her affection was not only because they are pure devotees, but because he is my son and they are my maternal son. So because it was from bodily perspective, and the Prabhupada says that relationship is an effect of external energy because those relationships weren't there in the past and they would not be there in the next life also. So based on karma, the relationships are formed. So when the affection is because of a bodily tie, or for many of our cases for the sake of sense gratification, then that becomes an obstruction. But when it is only on a pure devotional platform, only keeping Krishna in the center, when it's only Krishna factor there, then they are not outside. That is also pure bhakti. That this tie of affection in terms of material relation is the relation of Maya, because the relation of body or the mind are due to the influence of external energy. Relations of the soul established in relation with the Supreme Soul are factual relations. In spiritual world also, when we go, there is a very deep relationship between pure devotees, but everything is centered around pleasing Krishna, loving Krishna. When Kunti Devi wanted to cut off the family relation, she meant to cut off the relation of the skin, because this body is connected. The skin, or when it is basically material by nature, the skin relation is a cause of material bondage, but the relation of the soul is a cause of freedom. Relation of the soul means when the relationship is only based on nurturing bhakti, not based on a bodily conception. When it is on a spiritual level, great. So one has to be careful with what is the relationship based on. This relation of the soul to the soul can be established by the medium of relation with the super soul. There, everything is centered on Krishna. His Holiness Sarana Swami Maharaj explains love for Krishna manifest as compassion for all living entities. Very advanced platform. Seeing in the darkness is not seeing, but seeing by the light of the sun means to see the sun and everything else, which was unseen in the darkness. That is the way of devotional service. All right. So I would like to stop here and see if there are any discussions, questions, comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Tanda Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. No question, but thanks for making it very clear what Mother Kunti meant by severing the reaction, like the bodily, our connections, that it should be on the skin level and it has to be transferred to the spiritual level. Otherwise, it really brings a lot of confusion and hard-heartedness towards sometimes the family. Oh, okay, no, I don't have anything to do with them. So thank you very much for explaining it very nicely. To connect them at the level of the soul, spiritual connection. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Jai Shri Krishna. Prabhuji, I have two questions. One is, can you explain, you mentioned that there were two births earlier when Krishna also was Devaki and Vasudev son, right? Earlier also, like, other than Krishna. That's what I think I remember.
can you say that again little louder?
Yeah, so you mentioned that other than Krishna's birth also there was another two births Krishna had taken from the womb of, like, as a mother of Devaki and Vasudev, correct?
Yes.
If I heard
Yes.
correct. So can you elaborate that?
Oh, I mean, they, as Sutapa and Vrishni, he came as Vrishni Garbha. Then I think as Aditi and Kashyap, he came as Vaman Deva.
Oh.
And now he came as Krishna, son of Vasudeva and Devaki. But who took birth is actually Narayan, and Krishna actually appeared from Yashoda and Devaki. So in that way, Narayan fulfilled his promise that he will appear 3 times as the son. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhuji, that is clear. And another question I had that you mentioned that even if we have bad karma, like when we seek Krishna's help, that time our destiny changes, something like that. I understand. Is that correct?
It's I'm having a little hard time, but we one more time try.
Sorry, Prabhuji. So what I understand is that when we seek Krishna's help, and even if we have bad karmas, but when we seek, like sincerely pray to Krishna, then our destiny changes, right? Whatever is there in destiny, it changes because of Krishna's interference in that matter. Is that correct? What I understand?
Yeah, either Krishna's interference or just our karma. Like Duryodhan, he had a particular karma, but because he misbehaved with Draupadi, he accrued bad karma and then it diminished his life. This Bhagavatam in the beginning, one of the beginning verses says. So our
Because I
destiny
was
is
trying to
based on
contemplate on the
contemplate on.
So actually, I was contemplating on one lecture which I recently heard from Swam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. It was on decisions determine destiny. So, like, even if we have bad karmas, we are bound to get the reaction of that, right? But when we approach to Krishna, like, its intensity reduces. Is that like what I,
Yeah, that
if
is
I
also true.
understand?
Yes, Bhakti Yoga will remove our previous bad karma and good karma both. So karma is a
Because
very
in that
dynamic concept.
Right, because in that lecture, Maharaj was explaining like it depends like what we chose, right? What are the choices we adopt in our life? So the decisions to lead to our destiny. So it means that whatever destinies they are decided based on our previous karmas, that may get interfered or that may get altered because of like what practice we are following, right? To seek help of Krishna or
Yes,
to get intelligence from Krishna, something like that, right? Sorry, was my voice audible? I'm
and
not sure.
if we make some wrong decisions, wrong choices in life, wrong decisions, then we accrue some bad karma, which lead to some difficulties in life. One may say, doesn't bhakti remove the karma? Well, Krishna uses our karma to, and that becomes Krishna's mercy, because through suffering we realize this is not the right thing to do. And slowly, when we see that how every wrong decision has a repercussion, and one naturally gives them up. So suffering for a devotee is also, Prabhupada says, the suffering for a devotee, he says in 10:14 in the purport, Prabhupada says, the suffering for a devotee given by Krishna is in order to curb the enjoying spirit in a conditions. It's not actually a karma, but that is also Krishna's mercy. Karma is taken by Krishna, but whatever suffering comes is Krishna's mercy, so that we can go to him faster.
Yeah, so
All right.
what I'm understanding is like the karmic reaction may come in the form of suffering, but still Krishna will mold us the suffering such as like we should be able to progress in our devotional life, something kind of that, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you,
They have
Prabhuji. Hare
to
Krishna.
screw. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Okay,
Prabhuji. That's
we'll
it.
end here.
Prabhuji,
Padmavati Mataji.
shall I ask Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Time.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. That is very nice, Prabhuji. How Duryodhana gets same platform as Arjuna, Prabhuji? He made so many sinful acts.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, this is a very nice question. Two answers to this. One answer is because he was fighting on a battlefield and he saw Krishna. Now, what is the where did Pandavas go? Two answers. Bhagavatam says Pandavas went back to Godhead in the self same body. Mahabharata explains Pandava went to heaven where Krishna was the Indra. So when Krishna, so either ways, they are both acting as a spiritual word. And then Mahabharata says that Duryodhan also met the Pandavas in the heaven where Krishna was acting as an Indra. Means they both attain the same destination. And one reason is he saw Krishna at the time of death, whatever you remember at the time of death. Another reason is Duryodhan was a great devotee of the Lord in previous life. Garga Samhita explains that. Just like Hiranyakashipu acted in a very negative way and he killed the Brahmanas, killed the cows, but then he was Jain Vijay and they reenacted, and that was the plan of the Lord for him because the Lord wanted to fight. Likewise, Duryodhana also is mentioned as a great sage, and that's why he could participate in Krishna's pastimes. That answer is it all right, Mataji?
Prabhuji, you said in Garga Samhita, right, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. Say, what is another sage, Prabhuji?
What is the?
Duryodhana's past time name, Prabhuji. In past.
Oh, yeah, name. Yeah. I don't remember. There is a story, and just recently, I think 2 months back, I read, and I'm like, oh, okay, but it's not registered in my mind.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. So we'll end here. Thank you all for joining. My obeisances to all of you. One Shakal Patavidesha, Kripa Sindhu Vaishnava, Patita Nam Pavane Vaishnava, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vindaki Shila Prabhupada. Dandat Pranams, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Dandat.
Dandvat Pranam. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandat.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandat.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandat.